Hey folks, welcome to this video on how to install a new pre-hung door. Okay, this is part one, and this video actually starts off exactly where we left off on our video on how to remove an exterior door. Okay, in this video we'll take you through the process of getting the door plumbed up, put in place and everything, and secured down. And we will have a link down below for part two of the video, which talks about insulating the door jamb and reinstalling your trim back in place after you get the door hung. Okay, so make sure, check the link down below for part two, and we will also have a link down below for how to remove an exterior door. Guys, I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you find it helpful. Have a great day. Alright, now that I got this door frame out of here, I can tell that actually there's a 2x4 nailed at the bottom of that header, which actually makes me very happy because all I've got to do is pry this 2x4 off of here. So we're going to do that, being careful not to tear up our paneling in here. So we're going to pry this back a little bit and remove these nails, and we're probably going to take our oscillating tool and actually probably cut this back probably about an inch or so. We'll take some measurements after we get this 2x4 out, and then we'll go from there. Now typically you won't have to deal with anything like this on your door installation, but this is an older home, and I don't know why they spaced this thing down like they did. Maybe doors were cut at a different measurement back in the older days. I'm not real sure, but we are going to get this taken care of. Okay, with the that 2x4 removed, we can actually see the bottom of the header now. Okay, and that's exactly what I wanted. And here's what I was talking about. We're going to have to trim back this paneling a little bit. We may trim it all the way back to the height of the paneling, height of the header. I'll have to take a measurement just to make sure that we can do that. So let me get that done, and we'll get this new door set in place. I've already got the whole jamb cleared good now. We even we had a little piece of trim up here that we went ahead and took out too. If we have to put another spacer up there, we will. But I want to make sure this door is all the way up against the gypsum board on this house like it's supposed to be. And from this point, I've got a 2-foot level down here, checking just to see if the concrete down here is level. And it's pretty good. It's pretty close. Okay, and I've taken a framing square, and you can check each corner and to see if your the corner of your jack post is square with your floor. And we'll hold it up here as well. It should be square up here at the top with the header. It's a little tad off, not enough to really require any type of shimming or anything, because I think we're gonna be okay. And I've already taken the level. Let's see, we got our 4-foot level here, and we'll put it up against the jack post, and it looks like it is pretty plumb right there, guys. So we're ready to go ahead and start getting prepped and ready to put this new door in. Okay guys, hey, we got Nathaniel here on the job with us. He's gonna help film a little bit today. What I'm doing now, before we set the door in place, I'm taking some insulation, just loose insulation. I'm gonna try to fill all these cracks in between the brick and the gypsum board, just to kind of get a little bit of added insulation quality there. You can do that with some foam insulation if you wanted to, but just make sure you wait till it cures up and swells up before you set your door in and trim off any excess. You don't want to put it in there and then it actually swell up against your door. But we're going to go ahead and continue packing that all around this area, the perimeter, and then we'll be ready to set our door in there. Okay guys, we went up for a test fit, and actually it was a little tight, not on the part that goes into the framed opening, but in between the brick. So what we did is we took our circular saw, we trimmed about an 1/8 inch off of each side of the brick molding. So now we'll have a little bit of a space here to work with. Once we set it back up in there again, we should be able to at least set it up in there and have a little bit of play to where we can wiggle it around and plumb it up and everything. Okay guys, hey, we've test fitted our door and we're happy with it now. We actually kind of put the level up against it, and it's plumb, and we still got some room to move things around. So we're going to go ahead and install this door now. First thing we're going to do down here on this concrete is we're going to use a 100% silicone. Okay, I'm going to fill up this crack here, and we're going to run 2 beads across here and then run a wave bead right in the middle, okay? And we're going to be very sparingly with this silicone. Okay, so let's start here. We're going to run one thick bead across here. About 1 inch from that carpet line right there. Guys, we got our silicone finally spread out there. This is definitely going to be better than this door was before it because it had absolutely nothing underneath it. So we're going to go ahead now and grab a different type of silicone, and we're going to run a nice fat bead up here on this gypsum board all the way around for our brick mold to rest against. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and put a nice fat bead right here at the edge of the gypsum board all the way around this door, okay? And this is where our brick mold is going to rest. Alright, go ahead and cut it off. All the way around. We're ready to go ahead and set this door in place and start getting it plumbed up. As we got the door in place and we jiggled it around a little bit, and we finally, what we're mainly trying to work on at first is the hinge side of the door. We want to make sure we have it plumb this way. It's looking pretty good right there. And also we want to make sure we have it plumb this way as well, okay? And we're pretty close right there. It looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and drill 3 holes in this jamb here, okay? One up high, one in the middle, one down low near the hinges. We're going to countersink the heads of these screws, and we're going to go ahead and just get them started into our jack posts, and then we'll start placing some shims, okay? And another thing we'll pay attention to, even right now without anything in place, just want to see, look at the gap on your door. See, this door looks like it's going to shut and seal pretty good just like it is, okay? But we can do some tweaking on this side once we get to the side with the deadbolt and the door handle. Right now we're just going to focus on the side with the hinges. Okay guys, what I'm doing here now, from the factory they left 1 screw out of the hinges, okay? And they give us some longer screws to actually put them into, to be able to put a shim around it and screw into that. We're going to do that as well, but we're going to take it one step further. We're going to drill, you see I've already drilled one up there and countersinked it. I'm going to come down here a little bit below the hinge down here. Do the same thing about a 1/2 inch in. I'm like right in the middle of the jack post. I'm going to countersink it, okay? And right up here in the middle. And we'll just go right here in the middle of the hinge. About a 1/2 inch in. And now we'll go ahead and start our screws. All right, now we're going to install some 3-inch screws in these openings here. But we're not going to tighten them down. We're just going to want to get them started into the jack post, and then we'll go ahead and put our shims in place. Okay, we got our shims set at 3 different locations on the hinge side of the door, and we just went out and checked, and we're still plumb both ways. So we're going to go ahead and screw those 3 screws into place. As we come back in here, actually add some more shims right there on the hinge, on the top one and the middle one. Down at the bottom, I was right on the hinge anyway. So now I've already pre-drilled the missing screw that comes from the factory, and they give you these 3 here to install. So we're going to go ahead and put one of them in each hinge, and then this side will be done. All right, guys, looking here at the lock side of the door here, we're going to take our level. We'll put it right up here. And as you can see, we're pretty dead on right there. We're just a hair off. We have to tweak just a little bit, probably have to shim out just a little bit. But as far as this way, right here where we got it at, it looks pretty doggone close. So we're ready to at least go ahead and pre-drill and get the screws in there, and then we'll start shimming up this side too. I won't waste your time doing this. This will just be a repeated process of the other side. Doorknob, deadbolt side of the door jamb shimmed and screwed into place. And now we can go ahead and start mounting our hardware for our new doorknobs and so forth. Notice this area here, I have a lot of extra amount of shims. I like shims behind the deadbolt, shims behind the doorknob as well. And of course we have some up here for our other screw that we put in place as well. Now one other thing I want to show you right quick is how to adjust the threshold, okay? You have screws along here on the bottom to take a big Phillips head screwdriver and you can back them out. That's what we had to do. Take a piece of paper, and I just use the instructions. Shut the door, okay? And with the door shut, you should feel a slight amount of drag. Well, the door keeps opening back up a little bit. But anyway, I tested this and I got a slight amount of drag on this paper. Not enough to tear the paper, just a little bit of a drag when you pull, and you should have your threshold adjusted correctly. Another thing you want to look for is when your door does seat, it looks like it's touching evenly all the way up and down the door. And that's why we were checking for plumb in 2 different directions. Okay, let's move on to putting some hardware on. We're going to have to go ahead and wrap this video up because I'm running out of power on my camera here. But we have this thing set. We just got back from lunch, and I want to show you this thing just operates just like butter, okay? We've installed our new locks, okay? And this door just opens and shuts so easily. And we double checked our threshold down there, made our adjustment with a sheet of paper. We've got it sealing up nicely all the way around this door. All we got to do now is come in here. We got to cut off all our shims. We're going to use our little oscillating tool to do that. Put up our new trim, and of course out here we have to do some caulking, and up here we're going to have to put in a little filler up there. I don't have the piece of wood with me today, but I'm going to cut and fabricate a piece of filler, and then put a piece of trim up there as well. And we'll get it all caulked up and painted up, and this project will be done. And we'll probably do a video of actually installing the storm door as well. But we're going to have to wrap this one up today, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Say bye, Nathaniel.
Bye-bye.